What is up, Matuire fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. For those of you that don't know, my name is Antonio Matuire and I own a 2018 BMW M3. So I always get a lot of questions asking how much I got my M3 for, as well as where I bought it from, how much was my interest rate, a whole bunch of DMs of just the process of me buying this car. So I wanted to address all those questions in today's video, as well as give you guys some tips and tricks on buying an F80 in today's market and just finding the best possible deal that you can get. If this is your first time here, I do BMW content. I do DIYs, reviews, POV drives, you name it. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video when I upload one. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out tremendously in getting this video out to other individuals that might want to know the same information. Now, for those of you that came to this video just to see exactly how much I paid for my BMW, I'm not gonna make you wait until the end, but if you want some tips and tricks on how I got the deal I did on my car, then you can watch the full video. So for a 2018 BMW M3 with 41,000 miles on it, I got this car for $53,000. Now, some of you might think that's a lot, some of you might not think it's a lot, but in my opinion, for what the car is and everything it came with, I think it's a pretty solid deal. Now, I did want to start with a disclaimer. This video will be on YouTube indefinitely, so for a very long time. Any numbers and information that I'm giving you in today's video is for today's current market. It is September of 2023 and the market is not very good right now. These numbers might change. The value of this car might come down, but everything I am talking about in this video coincides with the date that this video was made, which is September of 2023. Now, what this car came with, this car is a competition package, which comes with the competition wheels as well as the competition seats with the cutouts in them. And it does come with a boost in performance from factory as compared to the base model M3. This car also came with the executive package, which off the top of my head, a few of the features is the heads-up display, full leather dash, the 360 camera, and the heated steering wheel. There might be onesie twosie things I'm missing, but if you want a full list of everything that comes with the competition and executive package, you can look it up online. But those are both pretty desirable packages. So the fact that this car had both of those packages, as well as being a 2018 and only having 40,000 miles on it, I thought I got a pretty good deal. And lastly, this car was a 6-speed manual when I looked it up. That was one of the things that I really wanted out of the F80 when I was looking for them. A lot of people do have the 7-speed DCT, which is a lot more common. But for the 6-speed manual transmission, these cars do go for a little more just because they are more rare, which makes them a little more desirable for individuals that want a manual transmission. Now, I've seen these cars price ranged anywhere from like $38,000 as high as like $70,000 if it's like an individual color or something. Now, obviously, if you're going for like the $38,000 price range, the car is gonna have very high miles. But I would say for a decent example, you can expect to pay anywhere from like $45,000 to $55,000. In this price range, you can find an M3 or an M4 that has pretty low miles, as well as including some of those packages that you might want, such as the competition package or executive package. So that brings me to my first tip for you guys, where to look for these cars. Now, I actually found mine on Car Gurus, but it was through Auto Tempest. Now, I'm not sponsored, but Auto Tempest is a really cool website where you can look up a specific year, make, and model of a car. And it's a search engine that'll pretty much show you all of the different websites that those cars are on, whether it be Car Gurus, Cars.com, a local CarMax, etc. Now, the reason I believe I got such a good deal on my car is because of the location where it was at, as well as how long it was on the market for. As far as location, it was located in a small town in Ohio, so the seller was actually having a pretty hard time selling it. It was actually on the market for about 2 going on 3 months. So the seller was more apt to make a deal just because he was trying to get rid of it and he hadn't gotten a lot of offers at the time. And so, since it was a spec that I really wanted with the secure orange interior, which is the red interior, competition package, and the executive package, it was a no-brainer because there was a lot of other M3s I was looking at the same price range but didn't have nearly as much. Now, at the time, I believe he was asking for $56,000, so I messaged the seller on Car Gurus and asked him if there was anything wrong with the vehicle, why has it been on the market for so long. Now, those are the kind of questions that you want to ask instead of just automatically trying to lowball somebody. You know, will you take $50,000? Because 9 times out of 10, that's gonna turn somebody off and not even want to deal with you. So I was just having a normal conversation with him, asking those questions. And when he told me it was just because he just couldn't sell it because of the town that he was in, then I proceeded to ask him, is $56,000 the lowest you'll take because of XYZ? My reasons being because it's been on the market for a very long time, as well as it did have some minor defects, as well as like slight chips on the wheels, some rock chips, etc. So you want to use those things to your advantage as well when buying a car. car. If you're able to inspect it in person, that's great, because I'm sure you can find a lot more as opposed to like in pictures. But like I said, in my situation, he was trying to get rid of it and had been on the market for a long time already, so he was very open to offers. Now once again, I didn't lowball him and was like, oh, you're asking 56, would you take 46? That's just not reasonable. I think what I offered him was 52, and then he counter offered with 53 being the lowest that he can go. So long story short, we virtually shook hands, made the deal, and I had the car shipped to my house. If you guys want to know a little bit more about that process and how that looks, buying a car pretty much virtually, go ahead and DM me on Instagram and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And tip number 2 I have for you guys when it comes to buying an F80 is just be patient. Don't hop on the first deal that you think you found. Get different prices from different people. And if you are going through a dealership, I know a lot of the times they'll say that the price is the price and they can't come down on it, but still make an offer. Once again, especially if that vehicle has been on their lot for a very long time, write down your phone number, give it to them, tell them to keep you in mind. And if it's a car that you really want, be consistent and keep checking back with that dealership so they know you're serious. In my opinion, a private seller is a lot more reasonable than a dealership, because a dealership is trying to make money, whereas a private seller most of the time is just trying to sell the vehicle for a good price to where they don't lose money. And for tip number 3, join Facebook groups as well as follow M3 list on Instagram. So as far as some really good Facebook groups that post M3s for sale, BMW F8X/S55 classifieds buy sell trade is a really good one. When I was looking for my F80, they were posting F80s and F82s almost daily. So that's a really good group that you're gonna wanna follow. And there are other Facebook groups that you can join, like BMW F80, M3, M4 enthusiasts. Sometimes on those pages, people will post their F80 or F82, but usually you're gonna wanna follow the groups that are the F8X buy, sell, trade. Another page you're gonna wanna follow is actually on Instagram, and it's called M3 list. So I actually didn't even know about this Instagram page until one of my friends had actually hit me up and told me about it when I was looking for my F80. But M3 list will repost sales all over the country of people selling their F8X, usually M3s, but this page will kind of give you a good feel for what these cars are going for around the country. And sometimes they do post F80s that are like individual colors, stuff like that. Now 9 times out of 10, people that post individual colors try to sell their F80 for like $75,000 just because it's an individual color. Now if you're one of those people that are looking for an individual BMW with a particular color, then that might be the car for you. Selling an F80 for high 70s, almost $80,000, you might as well get yourself into a G80. But once again, all preference. If that's what you're looking for, then that's completely fine. And the last thing I have for you guys, I kind of touched on it a little bit when speaking about the Facebook group and Instagram account, but just make sure you're looking for one of these vehicles within the country. If you're waiting for a good deal to pop up in your local area, you'll probably be waiting for a very long time, because I would have never found my F80 if I wasn't looking in the country, because once again, mine was definitely not local, it was in Ohio. So if you really want to find a good deal and get one of these cars, just make sure you're willing to look within the country and you're willing to make that flight, make that drive, or pay to have the car shipped to you, because it's gonna be very hard for you to find a really good deal in a spec that you want locally. Now I'm not gonna lie, I am guilty of this. I almost hopped on a deal in Arizona just because it was somewhat close to my local area, being in Las Vegas, but it wasn't a manual transmission, and that was a big thing that I really wanted, as well as there wasn't a competition package, and I was very close to sacrificing those things that I wanted or settling just because it was close to Las Vegas in Arizona as opposed to something that was across the country like in Ohio. So just be patient and do not settle. If you're looking for a particular spec, just be patient. You will find one. These cars are listed all the time on the accounts and Facebook pages that I showed you guys, especially with the new G80 platform. A lot of F80 owners are selling their F80 to get into that new G80. So right now is a really good time to sell these cars, which is why a lot of them are being sold. If you guys have any questions or the process of how I found or bought this F80, don't hesitate to reach out on my Instagram. I do try to reply to all my DMs that I get, so please be patient with me. But just like that, that wraps up today's video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel and you liked this content, please consider subscribing so you can watch my future videos that I post. And if you like this video or it helped you out in any way, smash that like button. It helps out my algorithm and helps this video get out to other individuals that might be interested in the same content. But y'all already know the deal. As always, Motuire fam, remember your goals and don't stop until you reach them. Peace.